Scorpio. If this found you, it's not random noise on the internet, it's a freeze frame in time, a moment when the universe quietly reaches out, puts a hand on your shoulder and whispers, "Pay attention to this." Someone from your past is circling back into your orbit, and the energy around it is so intense that for a second, everything inside you goes completely still. Like the world just hit pause on November 26, 2025, so your soul could really hear what's about to be said. Breathe with me for a moment. In through the nose, slowly out through the heart, and let yourself land here fully. You, my Scorpio, are not here by accident. You are here because there is a part of you that knows a cycle is closing, a door is clicking, a chapter is asking to be rewritten or finally put away. When someone from your past returns, it's never just about that person. It's about who you were when they knew you, who you've become since, and who you are willing to be now. This is not just a reading about romance or nostalgia. It is about power, timing, and truth. Somewhere in your story, a scene was left unfinished. A goodbye wasn't really a goodbye. A promise dissolved into silence. A message was left hanging in the air, unanswered. You may have felt it as a strange heaviness in your chest, recurring dreams, songs that follow you, the same numbers repeating, their name appearing randomly, the kind of synchronicity that makes you raise an eyebrow and mutter, "Okay, universe, I see you." People talk about Mercury retrograde, eclipses, portals, dates where the veil feels thinner. But for you, Scorpio, this is personal. This is not about the collective. This is about your heart, your karma, your boundaries, your destiny. The energy I'm seeing around November 26th feels like a suspended moment in a movie when everything slows down, the phone vibrates, the notification pops up. You see the name on the screen, and even though absolutely nothing is moving, your whole body feels like it's falling through space. You already know this energy. Scorpio is ruled by depths, by the underworld of memory, by the places where people think they've been forgotten while they're actually being stored in your emotional archives, filed away but never fully erased. When the past comes back, especially for you, it's never just a casual, "Hey, what's up?" It's spirit work. It's shadow work. It's a mirror. As I tune into this timeline, I see the vibration of the Six of Cups woven through it, not as a card on a table in front of me, but as a feeling, childhood echoes, old neighborhoods, familiar scents, the way your stomach twists when you're reminded of a time you thought you'd outgrown, but secretly still mourn. This person from your past isn't showing up just to say hello. They are carrying a suitcase packed with unfinished conversations, regrets, apologies they never voiced, questions you never dared to ask, and possibly a temptation that glows like a warning light and a wish all at once. For some of you, it's an old lover whose absence once felt like a physical wound. Someone you thought was the one until reality said otherwise. For others, it's a former friend, almost a sibling, someone who knew your secrets and then somehow became one of them. It could be a family member you've been distant from, someone whose silence has been louder than any argument. Whoever they are, their reappearance is not to rewind time. It is to reveal who you are now compared to who you were then. The universe is not asking you to regress. It's asking you to respond from your current level of healing instead of your old level of pain. And here's where everything freezes, in the moment before you respond. That moment matters more than whatever they say. On November 26th or around that date, you may feel time slow down around a specific choice. Do you open the door, crack the window, or keep it firmly locked? Do you answer the message, leave it on read, or calmly say, "I've moved on and I wish you well"? The Two of Swords energy is strong here, that sense of sitting at an invisible crossroads, arms crossed over your chest, heart guarded, mind racing. You may feel torn between curiosity and self-respect, between hope and self-protection. Your heart whispers, "What if it's different now?" While your scars whisper, "We've seen this movie before." Scorpio, the universe is not testing you to see if you remember the past. It is giving you space to see whether you honor the lessons you paid for with your own tears. Your intuition will be louder than the words this person brings. Their tone, timing, and consistency will tell you more than any speech about change. Don't rush to answer. Let the silence speak first. Your silence is not weakness. It is discernment. This past person's energy feels like judgment, not in the sense of punishment, but in the sense of a spiritual wake-up call. It's that moment when the buried rises again, not to haunt you, but to ask, "What do you want to do with me now?" Perhaps there was no closure. Perhaps the last time you spoke, something was said in anger that still hangs unfinished in your mind. Perhaps you've imagined what you would tell them if you ever had the chance again. How they hurt you, how you grew from it, how you learned to live without what you once thought you needed to survive. Now the universe hands you a microphone and says, "Here, you can speak now or you can simply walk away with your peace." There is no single correct answer for every Scorpio. There is only the answer that aligns with your nervous system, your values, your inner compass. Some of you will feel called to hear them out, not to reopen the story, but to sign it off with a full stop instead of ellipses. Others will recognize that the closure you needed already came from inside you, in the nights you cried alone and got up anyway, and you'll feel zero need to re-enter that energy. Both paths are valid. The point is not whether you say yes or no. The point is that this time the decision is made from your power, not from your desperation. Meanwhile, your love life beyond this person is undergoing a quiet but profound transformation. The magician energy around you is not about tricks or illusions. It's about realizing that you are no longer just reacting to whoever chooses you. You are becoming ruthlessly clear about what kind of love your spirit can no longer tolerate. That freeze when the past returns will actually highlight how far you've come. Once upon a time, you might have dropped everything to run back to familiar arms, even if those arms had once let you fall. Now you're aware of red flags, of patterns, of the high cost of ignoring your own intuition. You may find that their reappearance acts as a mirror that makes your current standards sharper. You realize you don't crave chaos anymore. You crave honesty. You don't want someone who only shows up when they're lonely. You want someone who shows up consistently, even on the boring days. For some of you, this timeline shows a new presence entering or already in your life around the same period. Someone calmer, steadier, emotionally mature, carrying a King of Cups vibration. Not perfect, not flawless, but grounded, patient, quietly reliable. The universe may be asking, do you choose the intensity of the past or the stability of the future? Do you chase the high of what once was, or do you protect the peace you are only now learning how to receive? When it comes to money and work, the return of the past is not only about relationships. You might also see echoes of old opportunities, career paths you once abandoned, projects that fell through, or even people who once overlooked you suddenly noticing your worth. The Ten of Pentacles energy that surrounds you is not a lottery ticket falling from the sky. It's the delayed harvest of seeds you planted long ago when no one was watching. Around this date, you may receive news about finances, contracts, promotions, collaborations, or long-term security. A person connected to your professional past, a former boss, colleague, client, could reappear with an offer, a proposal, or a chance to reconnect. Again, everything freezes in that split second, where you decide whether this aligns with the life you are building now, not the life you were struggling to maintain back then. You don't have to accept every second chance that knocks. Sometimes the test is not whether you can grab another opportunity, but whether you can say no to something that no longer matches your standards, even if it looks shiny. Scorpio, your money energy right now is tied to your sense of deserving. As you release old emotional ties that drained you, you create space for more stable abundance to flow. The universe is ready to send you solid foundations, not just quick highs. Your health and energy field are part of this story too. You carry so much intensity in your body that sometimes you forget you are human. The freeze that comes when the past knocks isn't just emotional. Your body remembers what your mind sometimes tries to rationalize away. Notice how your chest, your stomach, your shoulders react when you think about this person or this era returning. That is your nervous system speaking. It is not weak to honor the signals your body sends. It is wise. This is a powerful moment to slow down, to treat your body like the temple that has housed you through all your storms. Rest is not laziness. It is strategy. If you feel exhaustion, brain fog, heaviness, or tension, don't dismiss it as just stress. Be kind to yourself. Drink water, move gently, eat what nourishes you, breathe intentionally. And if you have real health concerns, remember that guidance like this is spiritual reflection, not medical instruction. Your doctors, therapists, and qualified professionals are the ones who can properly assess your physical and mental health. Seeking them out is an act of self-love, not a sign of weakness. Your spirit is strong, but your physical form still deserves care, respect, and expertise. In your friendships and family connections, the theme of the past returning may also play out. An old friend may resurface. An unresolved family situation might demand attention. Old patterns of being the fixer, the secret keeper, the emotional sponge could try to reactivate themselves. The Sun and Emperor energies around you suggest that you are being asked to step into a position of calm authority in your own life, to protect your peace, to set boundaries without aggression, to say no without apology when something feels off. You are not required to re-enter dynamics where you are only valued when you are useful or available. You are not obligated to keep playing the role that once kept the family or the group together at the expense of your own well-being. This time, if the past knocks, you are allowed to say, "I love you, but I choose myself." You are allowed to choose distance over drama, peace over performance, healing over habit. The universe is not asking you to become cold, it is asking you to become clear. On a soul level, Scorpio, this whole storyline is less about that one person and more about a deeper question. What version of yourself are you refusing to bury? The part of you that tolerated breadcrumbs, begged for clarity, chased validation, believed love meant suffering. That version does not belong in the next season of your life. The cosmic weather around November 26th feels like a doorway between timelines. In one, you repeat. In the other, you rise. The moon energy here is strong. Your dreams may be vivid, your intuition heightened, your subconscious sending you symbols that don't fully make sense yet. You might see water, doors, trains, crossroads, repeating names, butterflies, feathers, coins in strange places. These are not random decorations on your path. They are reminders that you are not walking alone. Your spirit guides, ancestors, higher self, whatever language resonates with you, are gently nudging you toward choices that support your long-term peace, not just your short-term curiosity. At this moment, I want to gently wrap this in a layer of truth and care. What we are exploring together is not a fixed fate carved into stone, but a living story woven in possibility. This narrative is a reflection of one potential timeline, a way of giving shape and language to the energy surrounding you right now, a mirror for your intuition rather than a sentence passed down from the sky. It is not a replacement for your own judgment, nor does it override your free will. You remain the author of your decisions, the guardian of your boundaries, the one who chooses which doors to open and which to leave closed. If what you hear resonates deep in your chest, like a bell that's been waiting to ring, take those pieces, hold them softly, and let them guide you with patience. If something feels distant, off, or simply not yours, let it float away like smoke in the night. Not every message is meant for every Scorpio, and that is perfectly okay. This journey is for reflection, for inspiration, for healing, not for fear, not for rigid prediction, not as a substitute for legal, financial, mental health, or medical advice. Your therapists, counselors, doctors, financial advisors, and trusted professionals are sacred allies on your path. The work we do here is meant to sit beside their wisdom, not above it. Ultimately, this is an invitation to listen to the power already living quietly inside you, the part of you that has survived every ending and still reaches for more. So, Scorpio, as November 26 approaches, imagine yourself in that frozen moment. The screen lighting up, the name appearing, the old door knocking. Feel your breath, feel your heartbeat, feel your spine straighten as you remember who you have become. Whether you choose to answer, to forgive, to walk away, to reopen, or to bless and release, do it from the version of you that has learned, healed, and risen from the ashes more times than anyone knows. You are not the person you were when this chapter began, and you do not owe anyone the right to pull you backward into a story you've outgrown. Your lucky energy around this time hums with the frequency of new stability and soft protection. You may notice the numbers 3 and 28 or be drawn to deep indigo and soft white, colors that hold both mystery and clarity. Let them remind you of balance, of seeing clearly in the dark. Above all, remember this: when the past knocks and everything inside you freezes, it is not because you are weak, it is because your soul is taking a sacred pause to choose. You are allowed to choose differently now. You are allowed to choose the path where your heart is no longer an emergency room for other people's storms. You are allowed to choose the timeline where your love, your money, your health, your peace, and your power are no longer negotiable. And as you step through this doorway, whether with someone beside you or with only your own shadow for company, know that the universe is not dragging you backward. It is quietly, insistently guiding you forward to a life that finally matches the depth of the soul living inside you.